Hello and welcome to the Dataphos initial setup video. In this guide, we will show you what prerequisites you will need to use Dataphos and how to acquire them. Firstly, you need to be logged in to GCP with your email, and you need to have a GCP project. Since the Dataphos platform runs as a set of loosely coupled components running on a Kubernetes cluster, we need to create one. To do so, go to the Kubernetes engine and click Clusters. Click the Create button and select Standard. Here, select the name for the cluster and select the zone that fits you the best. Leave all other options at default values. Dataphos components provide and consume data via message brokers. While we wait for the cluster to initialize, we can create the topics. We can use any message broker. We will be using Google PubSub. If the PubSub API is not enabled on your project, go ahead and enable it. Let's first create the input topic. We will untick the Add a Default Subscription option because we will need to create 2 subscriptions for the input topic, and we have to do that manually. To create the subscriptions, go to the Subscriptions tab and click Create Subscription. We will create Persistent Input Topic subscription and add it to the input topic. Leave all other options at default values. We will now skip ahead, creating the other topics and subscriptions required. Use the naming convention of the subscriptions to infer which topics they belong to. All topics and subscriptions are now created, and the cluster should be ready. The next step is to download the tools to interact with the cluster and deploy resources on it. In order to do so, we will be using the gcloud and kubectl CLI tools. To download them, follow the instructions on the official pages. After downloading the two, go to the Clusters tab, click the 3 dots, and select Connect. Copy the command and open the console. Once you are in the terminal, authorize gcloud to access your cluster with your Google account. To do this, type gcloud auth login. This will open a tab in your browser. Select your mail and click Allow. Now you are authenticated with the gcloud CLI and ready to connect to the cluster. To do so, paste the command you copied earlier and run it. Then, create a namespace with kubectl create namespace. If we go to the Workloads page, we can see that the namespace is successfully created. The final thing to do is to create a service account for Dataphos. To do that, go to the navigation menu, IAM and Admin, select Service Accounts, click the 3 dots, and create the service account. The service account name will be Dataphos. Now, add the roles to the service account. The roles you will need are shown on the screen. To add the role, search in the filter and select the needed role. After adding all the roles, click Continue. In this section, we don't have to do anything, so click Done. Now that our service account is successfully created, we need to generate a key for it. Click the three dots, select Manage Keys, and create a new JSON key. We will rename the downloaded key to key.json and open the terminal in the folder of the key. Now that the terminal is opened, run the command. After creating the service account credentials secret, you can start deploying Dataphos components. To find out how to do that, watch the other videos in the Dataphos deployment guide.